Welcome back to John Lewis 3D Learning. In this presentation, we are going to see chemical changes and reactions. The topic is conditions for chemical changes. What are the various conditions required in order for a chemical reaction to take place? So that's what we are going to learn in this presentation. So let's start with some questions. What is a condition for a chemical reaction to take place and how will it happen? So first of all, when or what is the condition for a chemical reaction to take place? That means, so when two chemicals can react with one another to form a new product, what condition is required? So the first condition is they should collide with one another. That is the only condition required initially. They should collide with one another to form a new product. How will it happen? So that may happen in so many different ways. How they can brought together. So every one of us know generally if we want to make any chemical change, simply we supply energy. We heat them. So that is one of the ways. But there are many different ways we can bring the molecules of the reactants together. We can bring them to contact with one another. We can make them to collide with one another in order to form the product. So now let's see under what conditions the collision will take place. There are 7 different conditions in which collision takes place. First one, mixing, by mixing them together. So two solid substances we can mix together and thereby we can make them collide with one another. Next one, solution, by dissolving them in solution. So the particles will be moving around. Therefore they will collide with one another. And third one, by heating the substance. For example, we do heating for everything in the kitchen. Am I right? What for? To make the reacting substances to collide with one another. Next one, light. Certain reactions will take place in the presence of light. So in the presence of sunlight, they will collide with one another to form a new product. Next one, electricity. So in the presence of electricity, chemical reaction will take place by making the reactants to collide with one another. So in the last video I told you, car batteries. So how they produce electricity, or when we are recharging by passing electricity, how we are reversing the chemical reaction. So all those things, all those collisions are based on what? Electricity. Okay, next one, pressure. Suppose you put two gases under normal conditions, they may not react with one another. But if you apply pressure, that will do. For example, when our parents are telling us, come on, you go and study on your own, we may not do that. But when they sit with us and putting pressure on us and we are able to do our work, we start learning our subjects. So same thing here. So the gases, let alone, they may not react with one another. But if we apply pressure, they will react with one another by increasing the collision between the molecules. The last type is catalyst. So in the presence of catalyst, they may collide with one another. So without catalyst, they may not collide. For example, in the class, if there is no teacher, what we do? We will not do our work, we will not study, we will be talking, playing, and we will have fun with friends. But in the presence of teacher, what happens? Learning takes place there. So similarly here, the catalyst is like our teacher. It will not take part in that reaction here. Okay, but the presence of the catalyst will make the other reactants to react with one another to form a new product. Like the very presence of the teacher makes the students to focus, concentrate on their subject and learn things properly. So that is what is known as catalyst here. Hope you understood this. These are the 7 ways by which we can make the reactants to collide with one another. So let us see an example each for each category. So when does a chemical reaction takes place? When the reactants collide with one another. But under what conditions they will collide? That's what we have seen, 7 conditions. See here, this is one chemical substance A. So let us take the other chemical substance B. They will be moving around in the substance, in the molecules, they will be moving around. Therefore, when they come close together at any point, what will happen? They collide with one another and form a new product. So maybe A, B or C, some name, in different name, a different product will form. Okay, hope you understood this. Let us see now the 7 factors. So when does collision occur? When reactants are in close contact. So how we can bring them to contact with one another? By supplying energy or by doing any one of those 7 things we have seen in the last slide. See, they collide with one another, form a new product. So by supplying energy. So when they collide with one another and when we supply energy, the collision takes place and new product will form. Hope you understood this. So now, how mixing helps to have the collision in order for the reaction to take place. So let us take phosphorus and iodine. Both are solids. Even though they are solids, when they brought together into close contact, they react explosively. For example, you take phosphorus, this is iodine. So when these atoms move together and collide with one another, what happens there? So it explodes and a new product is formed. So therefore, by mixing them, we can have that collision. So second condition is solution. By making solution, we can make them collide with one another to undergo a chemical change. For example, sodium chloride salt is dissolved in water, we get sodium chloride aqueous solution. And similarly, silver nitrate is dissolved in water, we get silver nitrate aqueous solution. But when you mix them together, we will get silver chloride precipitate. We will get a solid substance. From this we can understand a new product is formed. The chemical reaction has taken place. So the other product is sodium nitrate solution. So look at this picture, you will understand very clearly. See the first picture. So sodium chloride solution is taken in the beaker and silver nitrate is added. And in the middle picture, you can see silver chloride white precipitate is forming. And in the last picture, you have seen, you can see lots of white precipitates are formed there. Am I right? So the solution and above that white precipitate is sodium nitrate solution. Okay, by making solution and putting them together or mixing them together, we can make them collide with one another in order to get new products. Okay, what is the third condition? So the third condition is heat. By supplying heat, we can make them collide with one another to form a new product. For example, you take copper carbonate. So what happens here? So when you heat it, so here the bonds are broken. The bonds are broken and the new bonds are created by making a different types of collision. See, the bond between copper, carbon and oxygen, everything will be broken. And then copper will combine with oxygen by in close contact with each other. So copper directly contact with oxygen and form copper oxide. And carbon can directly collide with oxygen, forms carbon dioxide. So the initial bonds will be broken and the new bond will be formed by collision, by different types of collision. Is it clear? So this is an example for how heat brings that collision within the molecule or between the molecules to form new products. Okay, the fourth type is photosynthesis. In the presence of sunlight, collision takes place. For example, you take plants, photosynthesis takes place. What is photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide and water, carbon dioxide from air and water from the root. The plants extract both of them in the presence of light. They combine to form glucose and oxygen. So here the sunlight is very, very important for water and carbon dioxide to collide with one another to form the new product glucose. Clear? Okay, the next condition is electricity. By passing electricity, we can make the collision and thereby we can get new product. For example, you take water. When electricity is passed through water, it splits into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen. So this diagram you can easily understand. When electricity is passed, oxygen is collected in anode and hydrogen is collected at the cathode. I think you have learnt all these things in lower classes, and it becomes very clear to you here. So if we want to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, what energy we need to supply? We need to supply electrical energy. So that breaks the bond between hydrogen and oxygen, and two hydrogen atoms will collide with one another to form hydrogen gas, and two oxygen will collide with one another to form oxygen gas. So they will be collected in different electrodes. Clear? So the next one is pressure. See, for example, you take the manufacture of ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen gases will not react at ordinary temperature. It requires 700 degrees Celsius. So much high temperature is required. But if you apply some pressure, 200 atmospheric pressure, they start reacting at 300 degrees Celsius itself. Therefore, pressure brings that collision between nitrogen molecule and hydrogen molecule at very low temperature. Not very low temperature means what here? 300 degrees Celsius. Without pressure, they need 700 degrees Celsius. But with pressure, they can collide with one another to form ammonia gas at 300 degree itself. So with 200 atmospheric pressure. So if you look at this diagram, you can easily understand nitrogen and hydrogen gas are passed from left to a container. So in that container, a compressor is used in order to compress the gas to 200 atmospheric pressure. And then they send to some other condenser. Okay, then ammonia gas will be produced. So that is not necessary for us for the time being. But you need to understand why that pressure is given for nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas in the manufacture of ammonia. You need to answer this one. So without the pressure, they can react only at 700 degrees Celsius. But with 200 atmospheric pressure, they can collide with one another at 300 degree itself to produce ammonia. So thereby lots of energy will be saved. Understand? Okay, next one. The last one, catalyst. So here there are two types of catalysts, positive and negative. Certain catalysts will increase the rate of the reaction, the speed of the reaction. Certain catalyst will decrease the rate of the reaction, negative effect, that is negative catalyst. So now let us see positive catalyst first. So you take potassium chlorate, and if you heat it, it is very, very slow reaction. Oxygen gas will be liberated very, very slowly. Potassium chloride and oxygen gas are formed. But this reaction will take place very slowly. But if we add manganese dioxide, here manganese dioxide will not take part in that reaction. But in the presence of manganese oxide, this reaction will happen faster. So therefore, what is the role of manganese oxide here? It increases the speed of the reaction. Therefore, it is a positive catalyst. You take one more thing, hydrogen peroxide, that also decomposes very slowly. But in the presence of manganese dioxide, it decomposes into water and oxygen very quickly. Therefore, in the second reaction also, manganese dioxide is a positive catalyst. Okay, so but if you take that hydrogen peroxide, and instead of manganese dioxide, if you use phosphoric acid as a catalyst, so the same thing but negative catalyst. See, H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide. So this decomposes into water and oxygen. But if you use that is phosphoric acid, H3PO4 is phosphoric acid. So when you use phosphoric acid as a catalyst, this will never happen because it stops the reaction. It retards the speed of the reaction. Therefore, here phosphoric acid is a negative catalyst. Phosphoric acid is a negative catalyst. Hope you understood this. So let us recap what all the things we learned. So what is the condition for a chemical reaction to take place? Collision. Am I right? So how will it happen? By using any one of these 7 methods. What are they? So let us recap. So by mixing the solid substances, by dissolving in water and mixing them, that is solution. And third one, by heating them and in the presence of sunlight, and then by passing electricity, and then by applying pressure, and lastly by using positive catalyst, not negative catalyst, because negative catalyst prevents or slows down the reaction. Only positive catalyst will increase the speed of the reaction. Hope it is very clear and you understood it very thoroughly. So thank you very much for watching. If you like it, please share it with your friends. Until we meet next time. Bye bye.